Good morning, Magic family. Welcome back to Magic Ministries. I am Nina Diedrich, and this is our morning live chat. Thank you, as always, for joining us here in this space. And I'm going to try not to itch my face off because I got totally attacked by a mosquito this morning, and I have a huge mosquito bite right here. And I had a little one right here, too. And oh my goodness, it's just been one of those days, which is why we're talking about becoming more grounded. Also, I just want a quick reminder that I am doing subscriber only mode as far as our chat goes. So if you are, as soon as you subscribe to the channel, you will be able to comment in the chat. Although I will still have ways to police that as we go. There's just been a lot of weird comments and things that have been floating around lately. Thankfully, the YouTube algorithm catches most of them for me, but every once in a while they sneak through, especially on the live streams for some reason. Although not so much in the morning, more at night. So we're continuing our discussion about the energies. Wednesday, we were discussing the foibles, I guess, so to speak, of comparing ourselves to others, and also comparing our journeys to other people's too as well. Ways to stay out of judgment. Yesterday, we were bringing up the concept of what else could this mean, right? A lot of times one door will close and another one will open. And then something really funny happened this morning to my son. Him and his girlfriend split up yesterday, and he was getting a coffee this morning for a friend of his, also a girl, not that that matters, but the total came out to 11.11, and I was like, oh, dude, hey, good day for you. So I told him to make a wish, and we'll see how that turns out for him, but hopefully he's having a fantastically blessed day today. It definitely started out well for him. So let's get our card for today, even though the focus is mostly on becoming grounded and ways that we can really stabilize the energy that's coming through right now. Because a lot of times things look like they're falling apart when they're really falling together, right? Remember, a lot of this really has to do with our perspective of these things, whether we're reacting or creating. It's really the same word, just a little bit different placement, right? So it's all about perspective. So let's get our soul truth card. Okay, so as we're grounding out this energy, the focus for today is going to be, what are you most afraid of losing? Okay, whether it's a relationship, a job, stability, whatever it happens to be. One of the best things in our life come to us because we need to take some sort of a risk, right? We need to step outside of our own man-made box and see what's going on. So the card itself says, as we grow and change and transform our lives, it requires us to let go of something that was, to make room for what will be. If you were to take the big leap today, would you feel scared of losing love, safety, or belonging? And, well, what if it was a big fat lie? What if it was impossible to lose any of those things because you have the power to give everything you need to yourself, right? So our soul action for today says to name that fear and look at the worst case scenario. Find a solution. Take your power back by being certain of who you are and where you're going. Our mantra today says, I move forward knowing I am powerful beyond measure. I am loved. I am safe. And I belong. right? And a lot of times that is something that's really hard for a lot of us to really establish inside of ourselves, is that feeling of belonging, because a lot of us have not felt like we belonged where we came through into this life. Um, but the reason we came through into those places was because we are the unconditional love that needed to be shed on that situation. In some way, we were breaking that generational pattern. I know for me personally, that was definitely the case. We have um, generations worth of teenage pregnancies, mine included. I had my first child when I was 16 years old. And through the acknowledgement of that, uh, I made sure to be really honest with my kids as they were growing up, and none of them have repeated that pattern. My daughter didn't have her first child till she was 22. Um, and my son is getting ready to graduate high school. He's almost 18, and he has no intention of going down that same pattern. So, in that way, I broke that cycle for myself. I also was the first person in my family to graduate from high school. Um, in a lot of ways, education really does matter, you guys. And the more we educate ourselves on these processes that we're going through, the more it becomes apparent what we came here to be, right? Good morning, Genevieve. Um, and you'll see that as you go along. The more you can identify those patterns that you have shifted already in your life, it will lead to the next one, right? So make sure that you are not staying in fear, right? So, all in all, we had a pretty good lineup this week. Just to recap that again, make sure you're not comparing yourself to other people. We went through this the other day. Ask yourself what else this could mean if you're in a sort of sticky situation right now. And then ask yourself what you're most afraid of losing because of that. And in that way, you may find a different way of looking at things, a different perspective, a way to get out of reaction and into creation instead, right? And we've been talking about that in the Conversations with God series too. Um, Today's video, I think, will be more along a summary of the things that we've already learned going through this series. But we'll see. I'm getting really excited to hop into book number 3 or book number 2. It's about global perspectives and things that affect all of our collective consciousness, which is definitely something that we're getting into in our everyday life right now. And the more we can acknowledge that everything happening outside of us is also in some ways happening inside of us, the easier it will be to kind of navigate these shifts and changes and stay more in alignment with who and what you are and what you came here to be. And a lot of that's about choice. So, what are you choosing? Are you choosing to focus on the, fear and things of that nature, sadness, loneliness, lack, you know, um, or are you getting on that little love boat and realizing that everything's always working out for you, right? All of these things and more are coming to you, but you have to have faith that they are actually coming to you and not just beseeching some higher power to deliver them unto you without you having to do any work, because that's not how this works, right? We have to take the steps to get the things. Everything happens to you because of your expectations of it. So make sure you're policing those. Make sure you're staying firm in what it is that you want out of your life and who, right? It's getting down to crunch time right now. So the things you're allowing in your existence right now are going to continue. So you have to really take a hard look at those things and ask yourself if that's something that you want to see in your future, or if maybe you need to open a new door, right? Um, and that can be really hard sometimes. So make sure you're leaning on those of you or those people around you that you love and that love you in return. And you're communicating your needs and your wants and desires as well. But make sure you're not focusing on the wanting. Desiring something is perfectly fine and will usually bring you into alignment with that which you desire. But when you're focusing on want, you're focusing on lack. So when the universe, or when you're telling the universe, I really, really want money, you're saying you don't have it, right? Instead, turn it into a prayer of thanksgiving. Say, thank you so much for the blessings coming my way, right? Or use our favorite mantra. All our wants and needs are met above and beyond our greatest expectation, always, in all ways, right? Because we're safe, loved, and prosperous beyond measure. And it's true. And the more you keep saying that to yourself, well, the more that'll come through for you too. Hello, Louisa. Good morning. It's good to see you. And so that's really going to be the case as we go into this new week as well. Make sure that you're focusing on the things that you're thankful for, and the universe will be forced to bring you more things to be thankful for, right? Because you're focusing on that gratitude, that appreciation, right? And remember too that gratitude and appreciation are two different things. You can appreciate something that you do not have. Gratitude, though, is for things that you've already been given. Okay, so maybe we should be focusing on appreciation. So appreciate those beautiful things around you, and maybe, just maybe, they might pop up in your own life if it's something that you desire. But remember always that that choice is yours. Okay? I want you all to have a safe and amazingly miracle filled weekend. I'm going to take a few days to spend time with my family. It's going to be a great weekend. Taking our son out to dinner tonight. It should be a lot of fun. And for those of you who are tuning into the Conversations with God series, I will be back at 9:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. For those of you who are in different time zones, thank you as always for showing up. We couldn't do any of this without you. Well, we could, but it wouldn't be as much fun, right? There is definitely something to be said about being able to share energies with those of like mind. I love you all beyond measure. I will be back Monday morning at 8:15 a.m. and we'll go through the energies for next week. Things are going to be starting to really ramp up. We have about 9 more days, or no, 11 more days, I'm sorry, until our next eclipse, and it is going to definitely be a doozy. Bye now, everyone. Be good, and be good at it. And I'll see you on Monday morning, or I'll see you at the next live stream at 9:30. Bye now.